Hello and welcome back. That's right, stand up to greet the sheep. We are in Buckland, more specifically Newbury, because we decided before we go on more dangerous and marvelous and whatever else you want to put as an adjective adventures into other lands and continue with the epic story, why not try to gain as much wisdom as possible from other more quiet and peaceful regions first? And that's why I said to myself, let's visit the Shire. And a good segue to that might be from getting some quests from here, from Buckland. In fact, we already have another quest we picked up some time ago about the Shire, joining the Bounders, which we will definitely do as well. Um, and this will be nice. I'm sure, as peculiar as hobbits are, we'll gather some wisdom from them too, because there is no creature in this world that we cannot gather wisdom from. All right, Wilmer Brandybuck, what do you have for
I'm
us?
sure it's a bother, but I could use your help.
I'm worried about Rollo. After he and Doddery got back from looking for the brigands, they headed down towards Brandy Hall to speak with Saradoc, Dodderic's uncle. They were none too happy and wanted to speak their minds on the job the Bounders are doing. Now, it's just possible he ran off with his friend Doderick on some lark. I wonder if you'd do me another favor and go over to Brandy Hall to look for Rollo? Brandy Hall is at the center of Buckland, south of the Buckland Gate. Hopefully, Doderick's uncle Saradoc, the master of Brandy Hall, will likely know where those boys have run off to. All right then, Rollo and Doderick.
Oh, woe is me.
Rollo still hasn't come back. Have you been to Brandy Hall to talk to Saradoc Brandybuck yet? I have not. Um, However, yes, we had some of that. Some of the Brandy Hall story started some quite a while ago, involving Doderick and Rollo. So now we're just continuing with that, as now we're not afraid to venture into the Shireland and such. Um, let's see. First, we're talking to. First, we're talking to whom? To Saradoc Brandybuck, the uncle. That's not technically the Shire yet, but I thought we might be led that way. We shall see. We shall see. I'm afraid I'm going to have to call one of the sheriffs if you're going to insist on trespassing. Oh, I'm not sure what that is all about, but let's pass on. Or continue on. Oh, wonderful, wonderful gardens over here. There is Saradoc.
Hello.
Magus farm hand sent you about Rollo? Then the boys did not heed my advice and followed their own wills. The fools.
Might I speak with you a moment?
It's strange you should be asking after Rollo, especially at this moment. The twins came to see me, upset by the lack of effort the Bounders are doing here in Buckland with regard to the strange big folk moving about. I told them the Bounders were doing all they could to keep that unsavory lot out of Buckland, but the pair were adamant about being heard and kept yammering on about the old forest. I warned them to stay clear of the forest because Tolly, our woodcutter, said that things there are queerer than ever. Twins can be foolish, and I fear that the pair have been more foolish than normal. And especially foolish if they're hobbit. Imagine twins that are hobbits. Yeah, that's already quite foolish. Doderick knows his way to Boat Hill and not much further. If you're going to be looking for Rollo, you'd best start with Doderick, and you might as well tell him that I'm waiting for him too. I guess we have to do some old forest investigation.
Just a moment.
Those boys, my nephew Doderick and Magot's boy Rollo, might have gone off into the old forest. They're probably poking around and getting into all manner of trouble if I know those boys. You might be able to find them at Boat Hill, which lies east of the bonfire glade. Alright, so we're actually heading to the old forest for now, and that's fine. No problem. Let's see. The old forest is not far from here, obviously. The question is, how much further do we need to ride once we reach its edge? But as far as I remember, not too far. Not too far. The old forest, as old as it is relatively small in its representation, in current representation. We shall find out, one way or another. There is the bonfire glade already. Probably on the main road here. What is that? A cocoon. Just a pro tip if you're a horse rider. You cannot use cocoons while riding a horse. As this cocoon just informed us. Ah, that's okay. You can just get off your horse and use the cocoon. But who in their right mind will use a cocoon as giant as this one? And for what? Yes, for constructing something from spider silk. Out of spider silk. There you are, Godric Brandybuck.
What do you need?
What, indeed? Uncle Saradoc is waiting for me? That bodes ill. I wish Rollo would hurry along. I cannot leave until he returns. We were chasing a brigand through here. We saw him sneaking about the gate and thought we'd best do the bounder's job for them. I confess that I lost my nerve as we crested this hill, and I saw the full scope of the forest. Rollo is a different sort of though, always comfortable to wander through these winding trails. There is an abandoned cottage along the witty window, southeast of here. He made mention of heading that way, but that seems like hours ago. Perhaps you could find him there and tell him to hurry on back? How brave of him.
Is there something I can do for you?
Rollo told me he figured the brigand went southeast of here, towards an abandoned cottage near the witty window. You have to find him. Alright, let's do that now. And just when I thought we would have enjoy some peaceful time in the Shire, we're instead going to the shifting wood. Not that I'm afraid or anything, don't get me wrong. There you go, my horse. You did your best to ride in deep waters. You did your best. Beautiful though. There's the abandoned cottage.
Goodness!
He tried to kill me. I'll gut you like a fish and then your girl, he said, or I'll make certain you never see your lovely again. I didn't mean for this to happen, but he threatened Kellentin. I couldn't let him hurt her, could I? Brave little hobbit. All I wanted was to get the notes I wrote for Kellentin from him. You can't treat people like that. Good, honest hobbits we are. You don't want to hurt nobody. I'm going to stay here and give him an honest burial at least. Could you tell Dodric that I'm all right? But please, don't tell him about any of this, will you? Could you take these too? Show them to Dodric, he'll understand. This doesn't feel the way I thought it would. Yes.
Dear me, what do you want?
I'm sorry. I'm not feeling very well. I need to bury the body. Tell Dodric that I'm fine, but please don't tell him about this. Yes, fair enough. It's never pleasant dealing with such matters. So I completely understand. Understanding was self-defense. I trust the hobbit tells the truth because he's a hobbit. Old Man Willow. Alright, let's talk to Dodric. He must be on top of that hill still.
Hello.
So glad to know that Rollo is alright. That's such a relief. What is this? Maggot's notes to Skelandine, and there are some references here that make it seem... No wonder he wanted to recover these from that man. Here, take them on to Kelandine. She should see what Rollo thinks of her. Oh, let's read that. Oh, something juicy finally. Man, me and my inquisitive nature. Old Forest Guide. A letter. Uh-huh. Is that what you call it? I'm something of an expert of the Old Forest, having walked there since I was very young. I hope this small guide, work in progress though it is, will be helpful for those who wish to enjoy a nice stroll in the forest during the summer months. I hope to get it published when it's done, but for now consider it a personal tour. Bonfire Glade. The Bonfire Glade is right near the entrance. You just come through the tunnel under the hedge and then head east till you get there. There are two fairly clear paths at the eastern and southern edges of the cleared space. If you head south, the trees get close on the left, so take the right path and follow it around to the east to Little Boat Hill. Keep moving east. It slopes upward as you go, and ignore any side paths. You'll reach Boat Hill. That's correct. Boat Hill. I like to sit underneath the only tree on its crown on sunny days. There is a good breeze up there above the canopy. Be careful if you want to go back to the bonfire glade from here. Two paths lead westward, the one you probably came from, and another one that's more northerly. I don't usually go up that way, since I once saw a wolf up there and it gave me a fright. The path south of Boat Hill will take you down to the willows. Old Muddyfoot's Hill. Now don't ask me who Old Muddyfoot was, because that I don't know. This isn't so much a hill as it is a big rock sitting in a clearing. It's a good landmark if you've gotten lost, though, since you can usually hear the toads away in the marsh to the south. Oh, the toads would guide you. The Bonfire Glade and Boat Hill are northwest and northeast, respectively, but the paths shift sometimes, and it's sometimes hard to find the trails, especially around dusk. Bullfrog Hollow. This area is just south of Old Muddyfoot's Hill. Be careful where you step here, since the mud can get a good grip on your feet. I've squelched back home on many summer days, tracking muddy prints through the whole forest. Come to think of it, this is probably where Old Muddyfoot got his name, whoever he was. If you can work your way east and north along the witty window from here, you'll find a cottage, but you're probably better off avoiding it. The man who lives there isn't very friendly, and isn't very alive anymore. If you keep bearing northerly, you'll eventually be able to go west to the Bonfire Glade or east to Boat Hill. Cottage. Stillwell isn't very nice, and won't even nod if he sees you passing. I don't think he likes hobbits. I try not to talk too near I try not to walk too near his cottage, which suits a spot fine, I think. It's right on the river, so if you see his cook fire, you can find another path. Be careful if avoiding Stillwell brings you up the slope northwest of his cottage. The trees up there seem distrustful of outsiders, and I haven't managed to find any paths back to familiar places in that direction. I understand your challenge, I've been there. Shade Pool. I've only found this shady pool once, and the trees seem to be in different places now. It was east and south of Stillwell's cottage, I think, at the bottom of a sloping hill, but the trees have shifted and you can't go that way as easily anymore. I think if you cross the witty window south of the cottage and keep your eyes peeled for a path heading east, you can work your way east and eventually north. If the trees cooperate and my sense of direction is working, two things that are unsure inside the forest. That's right. You should be able to hook a left immediately after hitting an open space and work your way west to the shady pool. The day was very foggy, but it was a pretty place. Old Man Willow. If you follow the witty window east, you'll eventually come to a pleasant shore dominated by a truly gigantic willow. This is Old Man Willow, who they call the king of the forest. They'll say he doesn't care for people who walk on legs, but I've never had any problems with him. So I suppose those are just old wives' tales. Still, it's a nice place for fishing if the bugs don't come out, and as long as you walk on your hands, you should be safe. Tom Bombadil's house. Away to the east side of the forest, old Tom Bombadil has lived in the forest with his wife Goldberry since time out of mind. There is some tall tales about old Tom, and I have to say he makes me feel kind of young and small when he talks to me. But the one thing you can be sure of with Tom Bombadil is that there is no harm in him, and nothing for any hobbit to fear in his company. Exactly right. All right. Same story, huh? Old Forest Guide. Well, actually, it was an Old Forest Guide. I don't know why I was so skeptical about it, and a detailed one at that. I like your tail. Kalandin Brandyfook. Did I say Brandyfook instead of Brandybuck? Ah, my hobbit is not very good. Already got lost in the forest, as you would expect from one who hasn't been in it for more than a couple of days. I'm back on track though. See Kalandin. Don't be too far from here. And it's such a pretty area. I never get tired of traversing it. Creek Hollow and all the other areas around here. And the rest of the Shire will, well, or Shire, neighboring Shire will be also quite stunning, I'm sure. There's Kalandin. Our adventure started with you, Kalandin.
Hello there.
Oh, these are notes on the old forest from Rolo Magot. Oh my, the boy is sweet on me, it seems. He's such a wonderful lad. I had never noticed this before. Thank you, Bastador. I'll be certain to put this to good use. Again, some secret letters over there? We have delivered Rolo's notes to Kalandin Brandybook.
Hello there.
You should speak to poor Wilmac, just a bit north of here. He's likely worried sick over Rolo's disappearance. Yes, I hope not. Oh, he was quite worried, so... Here. You should still be worried about the card, though. That's for sure.
It's terrible. Just terrible.
I know, the card is in horrible condition. You found him? He's coming back soon, and I can finish all I set out to do. For that, you deserve something. It may not be much, I fear. But here, please take it, if it is of use to you. You have no idea how much you have helped me. You're most welcome. Well, mushroom pies are always of use to me. Mushrooms baked into a tasty pie, of course. Cooked carrots, crisp, not mushy, absolutely. Eggs and onions? A simple hot breakfast of eggs and fried onions? Absolutely. Fried mushrooms? Oh yeah, a hobbit favorite. Easy to make and enjoyable anytime. How about mushroom pies? And mushrooms, or fried mushrooms. I'm not got so excited about mushrooms, I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, that was good. We completed the Old Forest investigation. Alright then, my friends. Well, here is the gate. Here's the Buckland Gate, and here's the way to the Shire, where we shall next time. For now, enjoy the view, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye and farewell.